Our first heist of the day is Turbid Station, which is what it was renamed to after the Payday gang completely screwed Murky Water in the booty cheeks. Wonder how they did that. I managed to find a full lobby, which was not the case when the game first came out. Cough cough Starbreeze, cough cough overkill. I then realized I still had grenades equipped since I'm used to going loud. One misinput and the whole heist fails. Oh, and did I mention that the contractor we're working for is Locke? Yeah, the guy whose daughter I tried to date. Did I mention that I actually never did this heist back in Payday 2? It's because I'd pee my pants at any thought of stealth-only heist besides Shadow Raid. The first few seconds of the heist were a lag fest. Thanks a lot, $1,000 PC. What? After an eternity of running around doing absolutely nothing, Daunted Cell 9255 chickens out and leaves the heist. If you're watching this Daunted Cell 9255, that better have been a network error, because I'll be coming for you if it's not. I followed our friend Antelope into the train yard, which was a secure area, but not as secure as a nun's you-know-what. And by you-know-what, I mean safety deposit box. What did you think I meant, you filthy perverts? Now, I don't know how this next part happened, but I soon found myself inside of a fine African-American gentleman while trying to hide from security patrols under a train. While we're doing that, the white guy almost gets us caught. I guess all the world's problems are truly caused by the white man. Speaking of the world's problems, I was in a big screen room last night, which is a VR hangout app. And big shocker, it's full of politics. I was in a room called Elon Musk Has Balls. And then this one guy joins in and immediately starts ranting about the Jews. And before I knew it, the entire room was ranting about Jews. What a nice world we live in. Getting back on track, the white guy almost gets us caught again, forcing us to hide under the train. Not the first time white people forced a group of people to do something involving a train. Later on, we narrowly dodge a security drone and quietly slip into the underground bunker where the Epstein flight logs are held. As we begin our journey into the Clinton catacombs, our friend Antelope takes out a camera. After we come to a standstill at a set of double doors, we run into our friend Gene Gonster, the white guy that almost got us caught earlier. He seems to already be carrying a loot bag, so my guy has definitely been on that grind. A little later, he slide kicks through the double doors, kinda like how I slid into Locke's daughter's DMs. However, I didn't get to slide into anything else because about 10 minutes later, Locke showed up to my house and threatened me with a 12 gauge, which is how I ended up working for the Payday gang. For whatever reason, our friend Antelope placed an armor bag down in the hallway by the double doors, and a guard spotted it, sending the place into search mode. Congratulations, Antelope. We will never forget your contributions to the Payday gang. Despite this setback, we continued on and found some solar panels. Yep, this is definitely the Clintons' place. Of course, you know, less than a minute later, the white guy gets spotted on a security camera. Next heist. Locke has tasked us with raiding a small meth house. This should be cake. Psych! The cops had already staked the place out. Guess we're eating bacon tonight, boys. BLM totally did not pay me to make that joke. Upon going through the front door, we immediately mow down a couple boys in blue. After heading upstairs, I immediately began busting out the windows like Ernest T. And also the cooks are dead, so we're gonna have to make the meth ourselves. This should be fun. I mean, what could go wrong? There also appears to be a pizza on the roof. Nice Breaking Bad reference. You know, you can actually go to that house and throw a pizza on the roof. It won't end well, but you can try it. I head down to the basement and find a locker with ammo inside. Unfortunately for the locker, it wasn't as secure as a nun's locker. I leave the basement and bust open a shed where I find a hydrogen chloride tank. I then take it inside and rush it upstairs, just like I rushed your mom upstairs. Turns out she's a big fan of Breaking Bad. I should also probably mention that half of our team is left at this point. What a bunch of filthy cowards. I bust out one of the windows and spot two SWAT officers running across the hill. I take out one, but the other one gets away. Just kidding, I move windows and then shoot him. Then his friend the Zapper comes out of the woods, so I zap him. I try to finish him off, but Hoxton comes out of butt-sucking nowhere and steals my kill. I then realize that I have to empty my bladder, so I head downstairs to find the bathroom, where I discover a tank of hydrogen chloride in the bathtub. I then flee the house in disgust at the thought that someone tried to get busy with a hydrogen chloride tank in a bathtub. And would you look at that? Finally, our first batch of meth. Somehow that tiny little pile fits in this huge bag. See, ladies? The smaller he is, the bigger his heart. I guess that analogy makes sense. Probably not, but desperate times call for desperate measures. I decide to face my fears and run to the bathroom where I rescue the hydrogen chloride tank. You're safe now, my child. Boom, second batch done. Everything was going swimmingly until an entire SWAT team decides to raid the second floor. Before I can even take out the first shield, a cloaker comes out of nowhere and kicks me in the testicles so hard that they retract back into my body. I get back on my feet, proceed to scream for George Floyd at the top of my lungs, and finish off the remaining cops. Here you can see a group of SWAT trying to rush the first floor. Joke's on them, we have the castle doctrine. God bless America. On the third batch, we decide to wait and see what happens if we let it cook, and boom, it turns blue. Breaking Bad reference number 2. I noticed that our friend, NathXN420, is running one of the bags out to the van, so I decide to throw the other bags out the window so he can take them. but I throw out the first bag and run to get the second one, and by the time I get the second one to the window, he's already back inside. Great teamwork. Thankfully, I didn't have that much trouble getting the other 2 bags to the van. Except for the fact that on the way back, I once again get ambushed roundhouse kicked in the groin by another cloaker. I can now feel that my testicles are above my stomach. I then see what I think is a SWAT team dropping out of a helicopter, but nope, it's a dozer! I then do what any reasonable person would do, run inside, throw a grenade, and place down a sentry turret. I then quickly find out that the dozer has entered the house through a window. I can see that my dozer repellent worked properly. I throw another grenade, escape through a window, and flank back around to find Dallas and Hodgson right up on the dozer. I join them and basically empty the rest of my ammo for my primary weapon and have to finish him off with my suppressed pistol. This is what we call a pro gamer move. I find that one of our hostages have come loose, so I zip tie his hands together because he's been a very, very bad boy. After some running around the map and searching for chemicals, I come back upstairs to find that a dozer has arrived. In the process of leadifying him, I run out of ammo, so my teammates have to do most of the work. But let me tell you something, this dozer had a more dramatic death than when the guy hit the propeller in the Titanic movie. I decide to call in the overkill weapon. This piece of information will be important later. We finish a 4th batch of blue meth and bag it. On my way out, I discover that our sentry turret is broken, so I decide to fix it. However, this turned out to be a mistake, because our getaway driver decided he was too good for us and fled the scene. He must have had a singing competition to go to. Upstairs, another dozer tries to plow us, but we plow him instead. Just like the last dozer, he also goes out dramatically. These dozers must have some severe narcissistic personality disorder. Our friend, Nath XN420, gets downed, so I had to whisper sweet nothings into his ear so he can get up. Just kidding, I stabbed him with a needle. This video was brought to you by Pfizer. I decided to bring another bag down to the van, but joke's on me, I forgot the bag. I knew I was carrying one, but I must have dropped it at some point. I head back to the house, but I'm nearly gunned down by a cop. And by gunned down, I mean started a mass wave of riots. Just kidding, the character I'm playing as is Asian. Most I would have gotten would have been a Facebook post. And with that, the final batch of blue meth finishes. On our way to the van, I grab the grenade launcher and fire off a few shots. Probably missing everyone, but hey, whatever. At the last second, our friend blasts a cloaker just as he's about to kick him, and send his testicles into his body. They're still up there, by the way. I shoot off a couple more grenades, and we make it out with 6 bags.
Goodbye, everyone! I remember